let's start. So the agenda for today will I'll briefly introduce SoScience, who is leading this program together with the French University PSL, Paris Sciences et Lettres, and then we will introduce you to the challenge of this program, the future of materials for circularity, and then Laura will explain a bit the details of this program, the timeline, and what you can expect. So first of all, who is SoScience? So SoScience, we are a social company dedicated to supporting responsible research and innovation in private and public sectors. So responsible research and innovation is a discipline formalized by the European Commission, and it's aimed at making sure that the social and environmental impact are taken into consideration for all research and innovation projects. And the main program that we do, the Future of Program, aims to answer challenges related to today's research and innovation. So first of all, the difficulty to find the right partners, the difficulty to collaborate with experts of your sector and of your core expertise, the lack of tools and methodology to manage multi-stakeholder impact-oriented projects, because we know that when we want to reach impact, it is necessary to include several types of stakeholders, several types of structures into one project. And it's often hard to know how to bring them together and to animate this type of consortium. And the emergency, of course, to innovate for the transition. So that is these are the challenges that our program, The Future of, aims to address. And basically, it's an expert method that we've practiced for the, well, we already have done 17 programs, The Future of. This is the 18th. So it's an expert method so that you can become a champion in responsible innovation. There are several benefits for all the players: accelerate research and innovation projects, minimizing the investment risks thanks to collaborative intelligence, innovate in open research practices, identify new experts for innovation and ones that complement your skill sets, get inspired and connect at the international level, and communicate internally and externally on some key issues that you want to address. These projects and the program really aims to bring together different types of structures. It's based on the quadruple helix, which brings together NGOs and associations, so represent the social society, academic researchers, startup, social entrepreneurs and companies, boosters, so investment funds, incubators, and as well governmental agencies and public services. And so we're doing this program with the French University Paris Sciences et Lettres, PSL. You may not know this acronym, but actually this is the leading university in France with the most number of students and publications. So it has 17,000 students, including 10,000 at master's and doctoral level, 3,000 researchers in 150 laboratories. It covers all fields of knowledge with very strong schools and universities in hard sciences, physics, chemistry, etc., engineering schools, but also very strong schools in social sciences, like l'École des Arts Décoratifs, Malaquais, which is an architecture school, Enamoma, which is a school for fashion and design. And so thanks to this wide range of disciplines, PSL is particularly well positioned to promote mediation based on, mediation for societal issues that need the combination of all these disciplines. And its goal is to complement the mediation towards the general public with several types of programs to address all the different parts of society, not only the general public in itself, but also the companies, the NGOs and associations and the public sector. And this is why they are interested in our program, The Future of. So it's been several years that we're working with PSL. We've done, so this is the fourth, I think, third or fourth program that we do with them. Basically, what they aim to is encourage interaction between the civil society and the university with a view to improve positive impact projects. Their own goal is also to give the university researchers access to an alternative range of funding windows, because we know that when you group together with consortiums with different types of structures, then you can open yourself to different types of funding. For instance, Horizon Europe fundings, especially the Pillar 2, really, let's say they expect that the consortiums are composed with a wide diversity of players. Based on the quadruple helix that I mentioned before. So private, public sectors, ONGs, NGOs, sorry, and academia. So what about the topic of today? So we decided to work on the topic of materials for circularity. The context is as follow, and probably most of you know these facts. But so by 2050, the global consumption of natural resources will continue to rise, and it is increasing the pressure on the environment and deepening the reliance on finite raw materials. And according to the Circularity Gap report, only 7.2% of materials are currently reintegrated into a circular economy. So this highlights the persistence of linear production and consumption models. And of course, there are rising challenges like the extraction costs that are going up, the depletion of resources, and the environmental and health risks that arise from inefficient material management, like putting them in landfills, etc., or burning them. The development of structured materials, that can also be called meta-materials or smart materials, can offer a path to sustainability because they can provide high-performance, low-carbon alternatives that could be reusable, recyclable, and adaptable across countries. So we are trying to build a bridge between circularity and structured materials. That is really the goal of this program. And the mission statement is as follows. We are looking for multi-purpose structured materials intended to replace and improve existing materials with the aim of increasing their circularity, while guaranteeing a technically feasible, economically viable, and sustainable scale-up. So what does this mean? We are not looking for, well, of course, if solutions exist fully on the shelf already, already for use and commercial selling, that's perfect. We're really happy, but we think that it is a challenge to combine all of these criteria together, and so we are looking for people who are bringing a piece of the puzzle to the table, and that by working together could design and industrialize this type of material. So that is the goal of this program: bring together these people so that they can build solutions. So basically, we're interested in people working in a lot of different types of sectors. So it could be building, energy, the healthcare, metallurgy, plastics, textiles, fashion, design. But this list isn't exhaustive. So we're looking for people who innovate in terms of materials in those fields of application. But we are also looking, as I said, for partners pertaining to public services, because we know that they can have large quantities of, I was about to say raw material, maybe not raw material, but at least things that could be considered as waste, but they are trying to upcycle, to reuse, etc. And these could be materials. At least these materials could be reintegrated into a cycle of production and could be made into structural materials to answer our problematic. So that's just an example. And if you are interested to build a multipartite consortium to answer our problematic, then we are very happy to include you in our program. So at this point, I shared quite quickly, I must say, the context and the challenge. Feel free to put your the questions that you may have in the chat. Laura will tell a bit more about the program in itself, what form it takes, and what are what is the timeline, etc. And then we will have a question and answer session at the end. But feel free to put, as we are going, your questions in the chat. And then Laura, the mic goes to you.
Yes, hello everyone. So the future of the program is really an all-in-one program to experience collaborative and impactful solutions. And I'm going to give you a bit more information about the program and the process of the program. So our program runs in three main phases. We have a first phase that is screening, sourcing, and selection. The second one, co-creation and collaborations. And the third one, the 6 months coaching. Right now, we are in phase one, screening, sourcing, and selection. And here's what's happening in this phase. On January the 15th, our expert committee defined the program's K challenge, the problematic that you've just seen. At the end of January, we opened the call for applications, bringing you here today. We have also the application close on February 26th, so don't miss the deadline. And on March 5th, our expert committee will select 30 to 50 candidates for the next phase. Who can apply to this call today? The call is open to researchers, startups, industries, NGOs, and innovation support services, as long as your work align finally with the program's challenge and the main problematic. For example, I'm a researcher and I'm working in a public research organization, and my research focuses on the recycling of complex materials. I can apply to the future of materials for circularity. Also, you're working in a public sector and you have access to experimental sites, work sites, and others. You can also apply, and so on for all the categories, researchers, startups, industries, NGOs, and innovation support services, and other, as long as you can contribute to the program. More about the selection criteria. Applications will be reviewed by an expert committee on March 5th that, of course, have the technical knowledge to evaluate your proposals. What we are looking for with the committee, expertise that fits the challenge and can contribute to the problematic, willingness to collaborate, of course, and form partnerships, and social and environmental innovation. What happens next? Two possible outcomes for the selection process. You're selected, great. Pack your bags for the co-creation day on April 1st in Paris, France. And you're not selected, don't worry, your expertise may still be valuable. You could be invited to join a collaborative project after the co-creation day. Now let's dig into the second phase, the co-creation and collaborations. The highlight of this phase on April 1st is the co-creation day, where selected applicants will meet in Paris to develop collaborative project. After that, the consortium, the teams will have 1 month to refine and submit their proposals. And in June, 3 projects will be chosen by the committee for SoScience coaching program. So a bit more about the Co-Creation Day. This is a unique chance for you to connect with 30 to 50 experts in this field. You can also expand your network and find new partners. You can join themed roundtables and open discussions. And you can, of course, work on collaborative projects with researchers, startups, NGOs, industry, and so on. The aim of this day is really to build multi-actors collaborative projects answering the problematic. And you'll have until May to finalize your project proposal. Yes. So finally, the third phase, the 6 months coaching. For this one, this phase provides a structured collaborative project monitoring with hands-on support. What's included finally in this coaching, the selected project will receive coaching from SoScience, including help structuring teams and governance, finding additional expertise if needed, project management support, maximizing social and environmental impacts with the SoScience expertise, and getting ready for Horizon Europe and other grants, local or international grants as needed. So how does a program work concretely? Let me introduce you to 2 success stories from previous editions. As you can see here, you can see the 3 phases: apply, meet, and coaching. This is the future of eco-designed vehicles. We can see participants from INSA, Lines, Plastic Omnium, and Total Energy meeting at the Co-Creation Day. And at this Co-Creation Day, they developed an idea to extend the lifespan of bumpers with self-repairable materials. And they proposed the Smart Polymer Bumpers project. Their project was selected and supported through the program with the SoScience coaching. Another one is the Future of Urban Agriculture program. Other example, here you can see also participants. They developed the Green and Grey Wall project. It's a vegetated wall that treats grey water while producing food in urban areas. And with SoScience coaching, they brought new partners in their consortium, and they also secured 60,000 euros from the Meta Building program at age 2020. Now, how to apply to the program of today, the future of materials for circularity? It's easy. You just have to follow these steps. You have to create your account on SoScience platform and complete at least 50% of your profile. Then you have to go to the program page and register. It takes only a minute. And now you have access to your application at any time in My Application section on the left of the screen. And you just have to fill out the application form. It will take approximately 1 hour. And of course, you have to submit your application before February the 26th. That's it for the program presentation. You can have here a look of the program, final look of the key dates and deadlines. And now it's over to you. Feel free to ask any questions about the program, the application process, or anything else.
Yes, Marie, you can go.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. So I have just a question regarding the selection and the application form, because if I understood well, the idea is really to bring together people from different perspectives to co-create together on these topics. And when you file your proposal, what is the level of maturity on the projects that you have to submit? Because you may be someone that can bring expertise, but do not have the really the idea very concrete regarding. So could we apply in terms of, okay, I have an expertise on that, some knowledge and connection to, so for example, for myself, I am at Saint-Gobain at the innovation and R&D level, having kind of really network regarding possibilities to scale up, possibilities to bring together some expertise. But so my question is to finish, what is really the level of in the application form of the maturity of the project and your proposal, which is not clear for me from the presentation?
Yes, of course. We really welcome all types of maturity. It could be that in your case, for instance, it's perfectly valid. It could be that you have a strong expertise, but maybe you have the intuition that it will have good applications for our purpose, but you're not sure which. So it's really very low level of maturity. It's just an idea. It could be that you have capacity for scale up, but no concrete idea either. That's also fine. We really see during the co-creation day, we see ideas emerge from people meeting each other. So it can be very early. And on the contrary, it could also be that some projects are quite advanced, but they need one or two extra partners. They are also very welcome. So we don't have a presupposed level of maturity expected.
Okay, so typically, I know that we have a kind of bucket of many ideas, but at the material at the material science, but not really at very low TL, but cannot describe everything. At the same time, have capabilities regarding analyzing pilot trials on industrial or pilot scale. Is it something that could be, I'm just wondering if you really look for advanced materials solutions bring to the table, or it could be something like low TOL solution, and or just bringing sub-capacity regarding technical analysis and pilot trial and so on.
Yeah, your second option is right. If such materials exist, we are happy to see them apply. But what we want to help emerge is our new solutions. So
some materials and solution at low TRL could be also interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
And how do you manage? Then I stop. How do you manage IP?
So that is to be discussed with the consortium that are formed. Once they are formed and selected, it's really up to the consortium members. So that really depends on the different partners. Usually, so our aim is to form multipartite consortiums with industry, with public research, and such players don't have at all the same expectations towards IP, for instance, not the same goals. So it really changes between the different consortiums. But there's for example, right now we are accompanying for another program an industrial player, and they are working towards building 3 different consortium contracts with each 3 consortium that they selected. And so the IP will be managed differently within each consortium.
Okay, so I can describe some expertise and capabilities without digging too much into the details, depending
Yes.
on the and then let's see if we are selected or not. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And there's also a possibility of submitting several applications if you have several experts that are working on different types of things, projects that could not, because one application means one person gets to defend their ID during the co-creation day if you are selected. If there are several IDs which are very different, several types of capacities which are very different, I think it's completely defendable to have several applications.
Okay, and last question to let the other ask. Just to make sure in terms of maturity of the material level solution, you need something that is at which TRL, just to know.
So it depends on our on the client we work with, but here we are working with the l'Université PSL, and they don't have a strong expectation in terms of TRL of the output project. Of course, we wish to have each project transfer into a concrete impact. So we hope that in the end the projects will reach TRL 9, but we don't have preconceived expectations or ideas.
Okay, thank you.
I see a question in the chat from Erwan Hamar. In terms of selection rate for this program, if you candidate, we expect there will be approximately 50% of success. But it actually depends. We are making a lot of effort to have as many applicants as possible. The maximum number of people selected for the co-creation day is 50 people. So usually we see that there are approximately 100 applications, but it really depends on the topic. But it should not change too much. The average funds raised, I cannot give you that number. It really depends on each programs. Some are partially funded by our clients. Here, we're working with a PSL, and they are not attributing funding from the start. So each project has to be looking and applying for several type of funds. So it's up to the consortium to work that out with Socience Coaching. If you have any question, please raise your hand or put them in the chat. Well, if it's yes, Kat, please go.
Okay, excuse me. So if I get it well, you apply as a person with a specific background, or you apply as providing an idea, or maybe already a kind of a project. You can apply on different levels.
Absolutely.
And then you will try to choose the well-suited association of people to work together in the co-creating day in order to build some more advanced projects.
Yes,
Am I
exactly.
Right? Okay.
Exactly. And so we know that some people will be more advanced and will have a nearly complete projects, and they will need people who are not so advanced with only capacities, which is why we welcome all types of a range of applications and maturities. But our selection process makes sure that on the 5th of March, we will really try to identify opportunities for collaboration between applications. That's really the goal of this selection process. And you will see in the application form we really ask you what you could bring to the table and what you need in order to build successful collaborations. Do you need expertise? Do you need scale-up capacities? Do you need, I don't know, a ground to experiment? Things like that.
So you're about to receive very different capacities, people working with metal, some other with glass, and some other with simulation, and you will try to select the more adapted panel to build something.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, if there are no further questions, we still have a bit more time, but I don't see any other raised hand. Please do not hesitate. But otherwise, I leave it to you, Laura, to conclude.
Yes. So thank you so much